Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about putting numbers in order from least to greatest. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. They're all separated by commas. I've got 1/5, 7/8, -12, -9/3, -2/6, and 3/4. And remember, I said that I want to write these out from least to greatest. Okay? So, what do I have to do first? First thing I'm going to do, because remember, I've got negatives and positives. I know all the negatives are going to go on which side? Get the left side because they're going to be the least. They have the smallest value. And then all the positive numbers are going to go on the right, which means they're going to have the greatest value. But what's going to be my starting point? How do I know this? Well, right now I'm going to take my negative numbers. Okay, I've got -12. Let's make this orange. I've got -12. I've got -9/3. And I've got -2/6. So, first thing I want to see is, 1, this fraction can be changed. -9/3 is the same thing as just saying what? -9/3 is the same thing as -3. Okay. So now we still have -3, -12, and -2/6. Well, which one's the smallest out of all these? Good. -12 is the smallest. And then what's the second smallest? -3, and then -2/6. Because on a number line, -2/6 is going to be much closer to 0 than the other two numbers. So if I had a number line, it might look like this. Here's 0, here's -12, here's -3, and here's -2/6. Okay? So remember, the further left we go, the larger these negative numbers become. If I go directly to the left of -12 by 1 unit, I get to -13. And then as I keep going left, I get closer and closer to -infinity. Okay? Now, what about these other numbers? What else is happening here? Now I've still got 1/5. I've got 7/8. And I've got 3/4. Well, how do I know which one's the biggest and which one's the smallest? What would make this easier? Well, it'd be great if they all had the same denominator. Do they all have the same denominator? No. Can I change these so that they do have the same denominator? Yes. What common denominator do 5, 8, and 4 have? Well, let's think about it. Let's look at the biggest number, 8. 8 times 1 is 8. All three of these numbers do not go into 8. 4 does, but 5 doesn't. 16. 4 does, 5 doesn't. 24, same thing. 32, again. But then we get to 40. Well, all 4 of these numbers get to 40. So let's change these. 1/5 can give me something over 40. Well, 5 times what gives me 40? 5 times 8 does. And 1 times 8 gives me 8 over 40. 7/8. 8 times what gives me 40? 8 times 5 does, which means 7 times 5 gives me 35/40. And then I've got 3/4. Well, 4 times what gives me 40? 4 times 10 does. So then 3 times 10 gives me 30. Now it's really easy. In fact, all I have to do is switch the 35 over 40 and the 30 over 40. And to put this in order, this now becomes, let's go with blue again. This now becomes 8 over 40, 30 over 40, and 35 over 40. So if I really wanted to put all these in order from least to greatest, I'm going to get rid of all this right up here. And I'm going to do just that. Okay? I'm going to do exactly that. First thing, I start with my least, which was my negative numbers. Well, those were right here, right? I start with negative 12, comma, negative 3 was my second, and then negative 2/6. And then my last three were the 8/40ths, which we got from what? We got this 8/40ths from 1/5. We got this 30 over 40 from 3/4. And then we got 35 over 40 from 7/8. Okay, so this is my final answer. From least to greatest, those 6 numbers are listed this way: negative 12, negative 3, negative 2/6, 1/5, 3/4, and 7/8. If you have any questions, let me know.